Hi, this is Rock and Robbie SF from the ECF Forums, a store on YouTube, and today I'm going to be looking at the CE5 Plus Rebuildable Clearomizer. Now they call it a rebuildable Clearomizer, but really what they mean is that you can replace the inner parts. Not that you can rebuild your coil and your wick. That being said, I like the idea of moving towards being able to replace the coils on some of these Clearomizers, top coil and bottom coil tanks. And we've seen the Vivi Novas, the E1 Revive, and now the CE5 Plus. And I got one, and I got a rebuildable, or the replacement innards. And so let's take a look about how to clean it. There's really not much about cleaning it, but how to replace the inner parts. Okay, we're taking another look at a close-up look at the CE5 Plus, as it's called, and we can compare it to the Stardust or the Vision Clearomizer, and you can tell that the CE5s are a bit longer. And one thing I don't understand, it might be hard to tell, but on the Stardust, as you get towards the top, it kind of flares out, and it gives a bit of room to fill it up. Whether the CE5 is more at a straight angle. And it makes it a lot harder to fill. See if we can see on the inside, there's a lot of room here for the juice to well up and flow around the pip and the cap. Whereas on the CE5, since it's a lot narrower towards the top, it makes it harder to fill up because the juice kind of pulls up on the top. So it's kind of a backwards design, in my opinion. Now, the one thing that I love about this, and I think we'll start seeing this more, are these top tanks screw off. And unfortunately, it's hard to, sometimes this cap can get stuck pulling it out and pop off. So that's what it looks like. There's two wicks. Just gonna put that in water. This top cap, rather than metal like the Stardust, the top cap pulls off, and it's a ceramic base around it. And let's throw that in water. And I was going to try to see, because I got one of the replacements, which look like this. And let's get the Stardust out of the way. So let's see how these come apart. You pull off the top, and you're left with, let's see if I can, and there we have it. That's the CE5 pulled apart. Now I'm not sure really not sure how this works. And this is a negative base that comes in and gets on the bottom here. And then I guess this little nib here is the positive. And I guess it just touches this post to make the positive connection. And let me wash this off a little bit. This seems very delicate. So this base comes in as so. Now if we're actually trying to re-wick this, I assume the I guess you would have to insulate the positive wire, so because it's going to come down and touch the base when you push this in. So you need some type of of that shrink insulation to cover the negative, and then the positive just, I guess, just hangs there. But getting this in seems to be harder. And then you'd have to weld or clip or somehow attach the negative to the or to this sleeve here. See if this would help. So I guess we have to squeeze and push this sleeve into the bottom. As you can see, it's a little bit more difficult than you would imagine. This is not very user-friendly. There we go. And then this base comes here. As you can see, this outside wire is insulated. And we'll just twist it just to get some room. And push this post. There it goes. Just twist it some more. I'm just twisting it so this wire will not. There we go. And I guess the positive piece, which is right there, is just, as long as it's against the post, makes a connection. And it looks a little crooked. Anyway, so you can see there's two of the thin wire wicks. And the replacement inner core doesn't come with the this top piece cap, so you need to make sure you save that. As you can see, they're slotted for where the wicks go. And then the tank, soaked a bit in water, should be good to go. I must say these do feel, the tank itself feels to be pretty sturdy. And actually, let's test the, see how it gets caught? Let's try to test the ohms with the Provari. Okay. Let's see if it actually works. I'm just powering it down. It was up to 5.5. Okay. And the atomizer reads 2.7. Okay, so it's a 2.7 coil. Filled up in the tank. Yeah, I really like the quality of the screws, of how this screws in. Not a big fan of how narrow this comes at the top. Let me try to fill it and I can show you. It seems to be a little off-center too. But we can probably just, yeah, it wiggles around. Okay, I have some strapple. I had a hard time filling it before, so let's see if it's any easier. See how it pulls up at the top? And you have to let it wait to go down. You know, since it does wiggle, I'm going to actually try to push this to the side a little bit, see if it can fill a little easier. Oh. Yeah, so you have to put a little bit in and then let it soak in. Oh shoot, I think it just, I think I filled it over the pip. Yeah, these are harder to fill than the other CE4 or the Stardust. You have to wait for it to seep down in there. And I think that's good. Comes down, makes a nice connection. If you get the clear ones, it kind of looks a little weird because you can actually see the strands and the wires and everything that's going on in there. It's not as sleek, but there you have it. CE5 plus. Okay, this is the one that I'll replace the inner parts to. So it's basically replacing it with their own coil, and the vape on this, let's see. And when I first tried it, I wasn't getting much of anything, but I'm getting something now. It feels like I'm not really getting much flavor. This is a twist. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. It's a little better. It feels as though these wicks may be filtering out some of the flavor. And I've heard complaints about some of the stardust and some of the top and bottom coils that the flavor seems to be diminished. And I wonder if the material they use sometimes just acts as a filter on some of the flavor particulates. But this seems to be really noticeable to me. And like I said, I did have to let this sit for a while before I could get anything out of it. And I'm wondering if you saw the cups, the rubber thing that goes down that fits over the ceramic bowl that holds the coil was slitted. And I'm wondering if by screwing this cap down that it twisted that rubber a little bit and it's pinching the coils. And I think that might be part of the problem here. I'm not really liking this. I don't like the design of it. I don't like how it's getting narrower up here than the other Clearomizers. I think it's really delicate the way the replacement part is. I'm going to say stay away from this one. I'm not liking the performance of it. Doesn't look like it's something you could easily replace the wick and coil like the Vivi Nova. And I have actually seen that Vision is going to make a Stardust type tank using the Vivi Nova heads, which are really easy to change the coil and wick. So I got this from Discount Vapors. It's $5.99, so it's actually not a bad price when you consider that you can unscrew the tank and you can replace the inner parts. But because the performance just isn't what I think it could be, I'm going to have to say stay away from this one. It's a good concept. I like the idea of replacing the having replacement heads or replacement parts for the inside. And I'm really happy that we're seeing several more products moving in that direction. But this one just sort of missed the mark for me. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. If it's the coils, or if it's the wick, or if the silicone cover is pinching the coils. Something's not right with this. But if you're going to order from Discount Vapors, I'd still recommend the E1 Revive. If you like to rebuild, I still recommend the Vivi Nova. And by rebuild, I mean if you like to actually replace your own wick and coil. And keep an eye out for the next Vision upgrade to their Stardust type tank, where they're going to use the Vivi Nova heads on the inside of these. Gosh, I'm tired. I'm going to go for a vacation in Puerto Vallarta tomorrow. So this may be my last video for a week or two. But that's it. Live long and vape.